G'day, welcome to another episode of Country Life on the Coast. My name is Sean. Today's episode, we're going to upgrade our cat enclosure. So a number of months ago, we built this cat enclosure behind me. And our cat is out here quite a lot. And so now we just want to add a few things to it. So I'll show you what we've got and I'll show you what we're going to add to it. So when we built it with this ramp so he can come out at any time. Got a couple of steps for him to jump along. What we want to do is build another enclosure here, so if he wants to sleep out here at any time he can, and then also we're going to put a bit of a hammock using this piece of dowel up the top here, just with a bit of cloth in the middle. So we've got to build a couple of extra sort of these supports, some form of box or enclosure here that he can sleep in as well if we want to have him out here. But there's plenty of room out here, so it's a really good spot. Just got to make it a bit more appealing to him, I think. So we will get to work. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look around and see what we can use for this enclosure, and then we'll somehow support it to that, and we'll have to build another one of these supports somewhere here as well, so we can be able to get up to it. So we've been looking around the house, seeing what we've got to use as another little enclosure or little house here thing for him. And what we found was this old dryer drum. So what I can do is put a couple of supports underneath here and then attach that to it, and then just build a little platform out the front here for him. And that way we can keep this up nice and high in his cat enclosure. We'll put a pillow or some blankets in there, make it nice and comfy for him. So if he wants to hide up in there, he can. So first thing I need to do is we'll just measure this, build a couple of beams out, and then the platform, and then we'll look at how we're going to attach it in his enclosure. We have all our timbers cut up, and this is all old fencing timber. I've done up a lot of videos of me using old fencing material, and I've still got a fair bit of it, so any of these sort of projects I do, this old fencing timber works out really well. So this will be the support that the drum will sit on, and then we'll just use this, attach it here, and then we'll be able to attach that to the back wall, and then we'll just put this on an angle here like that, screw and glue it all together, and that will get nice and strong. And then we've still got some space up here where we can put a platform at the front as well. But we'll do the platform after we know exactly where the drum will sit on top. So I've got enough timber here to make a second one of these, so we need to build two of them, and then we'll install them in the cat house. We've made our brackets. I just mounted them on the workbench there just to show how it's going to work, and also to get a measurement between them so I knew what the spacing was, so that when I put it on this wall I know what I'm doing and know where it's got to sit. So what we've just done is we sat this up here. So we sat this up in about the location we wanted, and then I've marked on it where the first one's got to go, and then we can just measure across, put a level on it, and install the second one. So let's get these up there. So there we go, that's the main supports for it. What I'll do now is get some timbers to run along here, and that will just support them as well. It'll give a spot for the cat to sit, it'll jump up there and be able to climb in, but it will also support those and remove any chance for them spreading apart. So we'll just measure how much space we have there and probably get 3 boards, I think, and we'll screw them in on top. Well, we have this installed now, so we've got a nice shelf here. You can sit up on that, you climb in there, we'll put a cushion and pillow or blanket, something in there for him. Next thing I need to do is I'm going to build or cut the pieces of dowel basically off here, and we'll build a hammock up the top there for him. So that's our next project. We're building this hammock, or supports for the hammock anyway, and again just using it out of fencing timber. So I've cut the small pieces down. I'll drill a hole through this and put the dowel. I've got some dowel here, so we'll just put that in it. Now my only problem is I don't have a spade bit, which is the easiest way of drilling a hole for this, but I don't have a spade bit the exact size for this. But what I do have is a hole saw, so didn't really want to have to do it this way, but it'll work. I'm just going to put a hole all the way through this material, which is quite thick, but that way the dowel will just tap straight in, and just making use of the tools and material that I've got around. We've built our brackets and they're going to be mounted up on the wall. I'm going to mount them nice and high up here, but I need to put a spacer on here, otherwise they're going to kick right down. So I have some other scrap timber, we'll mount that up, screw it all together, and then it'll be ready to put a hammock or a cloth or whatever my wife's idea is to put up there. It'll be ready for her. So let's get these installed. So there we go, they are installed. So what we're going to do is my wife's is going to sew up some fabric that will then slide over this, and then have a hammock and sew it and slide over that as well. That way we can remove it and wash it, or if it needs to be washed or anything, we can. So that was easy. So what we need to do now is make it easy for him to get up to here and also to his hammock. So what I think I'll do, we'll put another one of these sort of stands, supports, just across there. That way you can go there, or you could jump over to here really easily as well. At the moment, I reckon he'd get to that without any dramas either from down there anyway, but this will just make it a bit easier, and they're really simple to knock up. So we'll just build something for that. Easy. So there we have it. We've got his little house up. We've got a hammocky, whatever you want to call it, up there. We built this extra step for him to get up there. So that should keep him really happy now. So a few added extras to the cat enclosure. Now it's time to bring the cat down here and see what he thinks. Well, that's all we have for this episode, so thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, that would be fantastic, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.